everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The stakes have been raised here in the wild card round as it's time to win or get an early start on the offseason. It's the Lions going up against the 49ers. So with that, let's get you out to the stadium. Standing by tonight are our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the home of Super Bowl 50, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The defense came out with a look that they had prepped for all week to attack. They took advantage, got the first down.
And the key words in there, prepped for all week. They really studied them, understood their tendencies, knew what they like to do, and prepared their game plan accordingly. And boy, the payoff was good.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Finding time. And that's caught inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And they'll run it here. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
And it's one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even teams who say, well, worry about running it because we throw it all the time. Being able to run it when you want to is a key to success in the NFL, and Detroit struggled doing that.
On play action, Cousins. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So now it's 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. And the 49ers on the defensive side of the football.
Terrence Knighton's nickname, Pot Roast, was given to him, and he didn't like it at first. Now he says, don't call me Terrence. Holds down the middle against anyone trying to run the football.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run. This is Jonathan Stewart. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jonathan Stewart, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. And he puts it through. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. They go play action here on first down. And incomplete to open things up. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
Second down now after the incompletion.
All day, every day, any day. All right, here we go.
They'll drop to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. A dime look defensively for the Lions on third. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's eventually brought down, but not before he reaches the 39, just shy of the 40. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Here we go now.
He'll look to throw. And this one complete to Julius Thomas. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Let's go. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. They'll look to throw here on first down. Over the middle, open is Thomas. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And they're definitely showing blitz here. They'll look to throw again. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The tight end Julius Thomas, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
When it comes to J.J. Watt, we're about out of superlatives, aren't we? So let's just make this simple. One of the best to ever play the game.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Now let's go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. Again, he'll drop to throw. And it is incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Cousins now on. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for him.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2, but they face a second and long to start things out. Now a second down throw for Cousins. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition, because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to second and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Second down, Cousins. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone, sometimes you're throwing it between the zones, sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting to run. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. Throwing is Cousins. He's got time. He's going to wind up and air it out. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Allen Hurns finding a way to get the feet down. And the Lions have taken the lead. And, man, Charles, talking about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Going down the middle, and it's complete. They'll get 19 yards there, and it'll be first down 49ers.
Never make the mistake of the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there. When you hear screen, screen, screen on defense, that's a little bit scary because you know a big play might result.
He was so ready to get to part 2 of the screen, he forgot part 1, couldn't get the ball. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. To the right side here, the tight end Thomas. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
3rd down now following the completed pass. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll look to throw again. Try to lay one up deep. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Here. The Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now they'll run it on the toss. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
Okay, work with me here. Make sure I'm clear on this. When inside their own 10-yard line and they run a toss play, I know it works, but ordinarily that takes a lot of chutzpah to do something like that because the only thing more dangerous is trying to throw the ball in that situation and maybe taking a big loss.
It's complete to his tight end, Charles Clay. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Let's go. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Cousins on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on the play. And just like that, it's third down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
On 3rd down, Cousins underneath to Spiller. And he's got room. Touchdown, Detroit. C.J. Spiller, 53 yards. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They come out here in the eye. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Underneath for Johnson. And he goes out right around the 39. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to face a third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field. Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. They'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Normally he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
All right, here we go. 3, 19.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Left side here, caught by Clay. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Let's go.
It's Cousins, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kirk Cousins as the first half is winding down. And the Lions add on to their lead. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
One receiver left, two to the right. They go play action here on first down. Flushed out right. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it a second down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's brought down. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you now to Orlando and our Tiburon studios where Larry Ridley's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Larry, so both teams have their marching orders and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Second down, 8. They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there. Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Second down following the incompletion. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They'll send a receiver in motion left. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And a great spot to start this drive from here. Cousins now after the football. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Offense with a fumble, but they recover it, and it brings up 2nd down.
Detroit!
Cousins now on 2nd down. He finds Hearns left side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards down to the 15. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Cousins now. Man open right side. It's the tight end Clay. That one good for 10 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And the first carry for the former Clemson Tigers, C.J. Spiller. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
So put another 3 on the board. And all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the 3rd quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Play fake here on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And that one will skip out of bounds as the linesman will mark this thing right at the 15-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
No, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Now the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down. 3rd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Taking it about the 36. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Unable to connect on the 1st down pass play. Now it's 2nd down.
Let's go.
They'll drop to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. Here we go with Johnson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They go play action here on first down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And incomplete on the deep ball. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. And they're going to speed things up here.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And when he started rolling left there as a right-handed quarterback, I thought, boy, this third down play is going nowhere, but credit to him, able to pick up the first.
And all you righties who are watching the game at home, get out of your chair, get off the couch, move to your left, and then rifle one. He may leave a hole in the wall, which you have to explain later, but you'll see how difficult that throw actually was.
And quickly, they get to the line. He'll look to throw. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game. But here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game. And if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit. Try it that way.
They got to have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal.
Let's go.
The short yardage man, it's Coleman. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down.
All right, here we go.
Got to try it here. He's trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Robert Blanton. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And a cut to the left sideline. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. 35 yards.
You know who has to be really happy after that play? The offensive line. To be able to create space in that situation when everything's jammed in and everyone knows you're going to run it, that's a big time play.
Because you're probably just thinking, hey, let's get to the 4 or 5 and get some breathing room, right?
That's all you're asking for. That's all your punter's asking for. Instead, he's not necessary now.
All right, here we go. Green. Detroit!
First down. Here's Cousins. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Pass incomplete. Charles Clay is tied in the intended target, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's got it to Hearns. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicalities.
Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, David Harris. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. They'll look to throw. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And he comes back with one complete. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. The 49ers are going to turn over to the special teams crew. The field goal unit is out there now. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Cousins here to throw. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And Cooks has it over the middle. It's a gain of 24 that time. And it'll be 1st down, Lions.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're... And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And an alley to run. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And a fair catch is taken here, a step or two inside the 45-yard line. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be...